What's up, YouTube? Leaky, we back in this building, boy, and I got y'all another video. I got y'all a video. It's like, what it is? What type of video it is? Like some what if stories that I be watching. That be on YouTube. I be watching this at 3 o'clock. I know y'all be watching it too. I know it because these folks be having a lot of views on it. But they say scientists sound the alarm. Worst disaster in 3,000 years. And then, what else they said? It might happen in 2023. Shit, but what they said about 2012, talking about the world going in and everything. But yeah, it's trying to call a riddle. We watch this, like, what if? I might go to the what if channel. I might give y'all another video, but I don't know yet. It depends on how I like this video. If this video go good, shit, or give y'all another video. But let's get into it. And appreciate y'all subbing to my channel too, man. Keep going up every day. Gotta get 10K by the end of 2023. Let's get it. We still alive.
Over 300 years ago, the northwest coast of America was hit by a powerful earthquake that caused numerous fires and also triggered a massive tsunami. On that day, hundreds of settlements went underwater. Thousands of people went missing. The reason for everything was Cascadia. This is the so-called subduction zone, the place where one tectonic plate converges on another. Every 250 years, there's a shift in Cascadia that results in an earthquake with a magnitude greater than 8. And you know what? Cascadia's time has come again.
I probably would never listen. I don't know.
How do we know the danger is creeping up on us? It often happens that before earthquakes, there are inexplicable light flashes in the sky or small tremors in the volcano's vicinity. But things are different with Cascadia. No warning signs, no small earthquakes. Until the end of the last century, geologists didn't even know that the zone was dangerous. Later, they discovered that the Juan de Fuca plate, which was supposed to descend beneath the North American plate and slide smoothly, got stuck. The pressure between the plates is increasing, and one day, all that stored energy will break out. Scientists from Oregon State University predicted that the probability of an earthquake over the next 50 years is 1 in 3. However, there's also the possibility that it'll happen in the next couple of years. The disaster will affect the entire Pacific Northwest, the states of Oregon, Washington, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, and Northern California. Cascadia will cause an earthquake with a magnitude greater than 9. No one can predict exactly when that will happen, but the region's residents are urged to be ready and alert at all times. After all, a few minutes to spare may save your life. It's a well-known fact that right before an earthquake, dogs start howling and mice start running away. These animals can
sex trafficking, the child might want to get y'all a dog while his ad going through. For real, and the dog gonna let you know. Something wrong with the dog, time to go. See ghosts, the dog barking at the wall, time to go. Damn, bro, I gotta watch 2 ads, bro.
Discover the #1 selling brand in America.
Vibrations that we don't even know about. Their reaction means the first seismic wave is gone. After 30 seconds, there's gonna be an earthquake. Residents of Montana and Wyoming, the more distant states from Cascadia, will have about 6 minutes to travel as far east as possible. They definitely shouldn't move the other way. There, the edge of the plate will descend, creating a 960-kilometer long tsunami that will move at a speed of 19 kilometers per hour. As a result of the last such tectonic fault in 1700, the giant wave traveled 10,000 kilometers and slammed into the coast of Japan. The water flooded the rice fields, washed away over a dozen buildings, and caused fires that destroyed other constructions. People fled to high places, but were left without shelter or food. The Japanese called it the orphan tsunami because no one understood what triggered it. But on this occasion, there'll be no time for romantic images.
I might go watch a flood movie.
How to act in the event of an earthquake in Cascadia. It'll cause the destruction of thousands of homes, severe fires, landslides, and dam failures. The authorities encourage all residents to follow the so-called 2 weeks ready. That is, every family must have a set of essential food items, clothes, and medicines to live in extreme conditions for 2 weeks and wait for the necessary assistance or evacuation. But to use this survival kit, you first need to survive the shaking in your own home. To do this, you should first move heavy and large items to the floor or low shelves and remove all the things that might fall on you. Ensure that your escape route and doorways are clear of obstructions, such as large objects or furniture. Attach computers and TVs with special safety straps. And most importantly, install safety latches on your kitchen cabinets. Why is it essential? Thousands of people were injured, and several people died during the devastating earthquake in Northridge, California in 1994 because of loose objects. And according to a study by the University of California, Los Angeles, over 50% of the injuries during that earthquake were caused by falling furniture or things. Only 1% of the injuries were caused by building damage. However, if you live in Oregon, which is the epicenter of the event, there's something else you need to know. What should you do if you're in the epicenter? Drop, cover, hold on. Everyone should know this rule. When you feel shaking, you need to get down on your hands and knees, cover your head and neck, crawl under a table if possible, or hold on to something sturdy. When the shaking stops, you should leave the building, and you better be prepared for what you'll see outside. Thousands of buildings will be either demolished or consumed in flames. Oregon has large stockpiles of fuel, not only for the state itself, but also for Southwest Washington. Fuel tanks will deform and leak. Any spark will be enough to start a fire. But you mustn't stop. Cities like Seaside, for example, will have only 20 minutes to evacuate before a tsunami hits the entire coast. During this time, it's necessary to go as deep into the continent's interior as possible or flee to higher ground. The Shoalwater Bay Indian tribe received special funding to build a tsunami vertical evacuation tower. However, there are only 2 such towers in the United States, and they can't save everyone. The number of tsunami victims can reach over 70,000 people in winter and over 150,000 in summer. Everyone who doesn't have time to escape, leave, or go to higher ground will die. Over 160,000 square kilometers will be flooded. This is particularly true in places like Seattle, Portland, Eugene, Salem, Vancouver Island, and Victoria. It seems like it can't get any worse, but what if it can? What if the Cascadia fault is not the end? The disaster in Cascadia could start a chain reaction. You've probably heard of the San Andreas Fault, a continental transform fault between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, extending roughly 1,200 kilometers. It runs along the coast of California, mostly over land. The San Andreas has caused many earthquakes that reached a magnitude of over 9. The most famous is the San Francisco earthquake of 1906. High-intensity shaking was felt from southern Oregon to the south of Los Angeles and inland as far as 70 kilometers into central Nevada. As a result of the earthquake and subsequent fires, up to 3,000 people died and about 300,000 people were left homeless. 80% of the buildings were destroyed. The earthquake was accompanied by surface fault rupture along the San Andreas Fault. Strike slip displacements measured up to 8.5 meters. And here's the most important thing. The San Andreas Fault merges with the plate boundary of the Cascadia subduction zone north of Cape Mendocino. A few years ago, researchers decided to test whether they affected one another or not. It turned out that over the last 3,000 years, a massive earthquake in Cascadia led to the rupture of the San Andreas Fault from 9 to 11 times. That means when Cascadia gets hit by an earthquake, San Andreas will follow the lead. Earthquakes will follow one after another, trigger a tsunami, and this time, the devastation will spread over an extensive territory from Canada to Mexico.
I believe 2012 is like...
If you think the catastrophe will affect only the northwest coast of America, take a good look at the map. Cascadia lies within the so-called Ring of Fire. This is a string of volcanoes, some of which are best not woken up, like Yellowstone. Its super eruption would equal the force of 1,000 Hiroshima atomic bombs exploding every second. Do you guys want to know more? Check out my video about Yellowstone.
Now I'm making me look at some Yellowstone now, don't I? Hey. Let me know how y'all like videos like this, so I can support this shit. I'm regardless if y'all don't like it or not. Somebody gonna mess with it, but until next time, like, sub to the channel. It's your boy Leaky, and we out. Long live Deuce.